yourself and who you're with.
My name is Joyce Ojai. I'm with UCA, the Arkansas Center for Research and Policy. My question is random, based on your background with DFMA, and it relates to COVID funds. And this might not be your forte for now, but based on your background. So I was wondering if all of the funds, especially the allocations to local governments, counties, municipalities, if all of those records are subject to FOIA with respect to ARP, KSAP, CRF funds. That's the first question. And then the second question is, based on your experience with DFMA, is there a provision or a policy that mandates technical assistance from that office to local government to encourage fiscal transparency when all of these funds are received? And if it is so, is that also subject to FOIA?
To take your second question first, and I understand I've been 8 years since I've been with, it's actually been long about since I've been with DFMA.
Use the mic.
In that section, so I'm not aware of any. I'm not aware that they had an office that specifically helped municipalities. That's not to say that they don't. I'm not aware of it. But municipalities, counties have their own independent associations that they, those are resources they can use. So, and the first question had to do with
If all of those records are subject to FOIA, because what we're seeing, especially with this influx of funds, is that a lot of counties or local government generally are sitting on a lot of money, and there's the guideline from the Fed on how what is eligible, what is ineligible, and all of that. But most of our rural counties are struggling on interpreting, the law and the guideline. And the fear for us is, in terms of fiscal transparency, at the end of the day, what happens to all of these funds? Are they getting all of the information that they need to keep the records and to be accountable to the public? And when we do FOIA these records, is this something that can be released to the public, or would we experience bottlenecks in that regard?
I would just have to send you.
Yeah, Ray, since that's a records question, you want me to take it? I mean, generally speaking, I think. Yeah. So you're asking about the funds that come, COVID-related funds. I mean, generally speaking, records of how public expenditures, public funds are expended, I would think would meet that definition of a public record that I went through. It's got to be something that's kept. It's a record that's kept that reflects the performance or lack of performance of official functions.
Yeah.
And so, generally speaking, now you have to go through that third step. Do any exemptions apply?
I think one of the things that she was asking is about DFMA, because some of the rural counties may not have either the knowledge or whatever to produce what they're asking for. Can they go to DFMA as sort of a central clearinghouse? Is that kind of what?
Oh, okay.
And
so then you get into the question of who's the custodian of
that's
that
right.
record.
And
I'm not certain that DFMA would be, at the end of the day, in administrative control of like a city's expenditures. But if there are communications between DFMA and that city, if DFMA is offering guidance about that, and there's a record, so you might submit a FOIA request for any communications about that.
I would certainly direct you to Revenue Legal Counsel with DFMA. If there's no